Okay, welcome to this subject DISS, the disciplines and ideas in the social sciences. So this is the very first topic, the emergence of social sciences. In this particular discussion, we will define social science and then we will distinguish social science from the natural sciences, and then we will know the various social science disciplines, their fields, main areas of inquiry and methods. Okay, so in this context of study, when we say discipline, that means a field of study or a branch of knowledge or a course of study. Okay, so first we will know what is social science. When we say social, this relates to human society, the people, and how that society is organized. All right, so when we say also science, that is a study of physical and natural world and the phenomena, especially using the systematic observation and experiment. Okay, so when we say social science in this um, context, no, this is a group of academic disciplines. So we will be explaining the nine disciplines in social sciences that is dedicated to examine human behavior, and then how those human or how those people interact with each other, and then how they behave, how they develop together and they form a culture, and how those people influence the world. Okay, so we will know some basic terms such as this one: society. A society is a human society and is a group of people involved with each other through persistent relations. Okay, because a person or a human cannot live alone without each other. So that is why he or she needs somebody or a group, no, for sharing. No, they share same geographic or social territory, typically subject to the same political authority. There is one institution that governs them, and then there is also in that specific geographic location or a social territory, there will develop a culture. Okay, and then when we say sociology, that is a study of the development, the structure, and the functioning of the human within that society. Okay, so let's move on to the next objective that we will going to distinguish. We will going to know the difference between social science and the natural science. When we say natural science, this pertains to physical world, the physical objects, those tangible, right? But when we talk about social science, this talks about human society and the people and their relationships. Okay, so in natural science, this deals more on biology, natural science, no, chemistry, physics, earth science, astronomy. Okay, so when you are in the senior high school, when your passion is about the natural science, then probably you are enrolled in a STEM strand. All right. And on the other context, in the other side, now the social science, this talks about economics, okay, political science, law, geography, history. That is why you are a HUM student and you have this subject because you are interested to know this, no? Economics, pol sci, law, geography. And um, natural science will always use scientific methods in doing projects, researches, experimentation. Very experimental yung natural science. And as we talk about social science, this yes, it uses scientific method, but then this involves empirical observation interviews. Okay, when we do research in social sciences. And the job, no, when you are interested in the natural sciences, if you want to study this, your future jobs could be medical doctors, you could be a nurse, engineer, biologists, chemists, astronomers, and so on. But when you are in the social sciences, you might become a lawyer, a teacher, historian, writers, and so on. Okay, so there are, I hope that it is clear now the difference between the natural sciences and the social sciences. And you are a student, and then this DIS subject is being introduced into you, so meaning to say that you are interested everything about social sciences. Okay, so let's move on to the difference between the social science and the humanities. Social science deals with the various aspects of society or groups as a whole, no? Society or groups. It studies people, all right? But when we say humanities, it deals the totality of a human being that is existing within the society. Okay, so now let's move on to the nine social sciences discipline. The first of that is the anthropology. That is the holistic science of man, the totality of human existence. So when we talk about anthropology, this studies humans, the social science that seeks to understand human origins and his or her adaptation and the diversity of culture. Now, this field of study, anthropology, is very broad in nature. Okay, but this concerns with human, no? We talk about physical anthropology. We have here human biology, the evolution of human, no? The when we hear about Homo sapien, the understanding of how human existed, no? What is their origin? Okay, we also have to know about the cultural anthropology here. We study human culture and their environment. We have to do many research, no, when you are interested in anthropology, and you have to understand a specific group of people. And then there is also a branch here of linguistic anthropology, of how language impact the culture of the people. And then the archaeology also, no, the studies the human past through the material evidence. That is why many people are now always now excavating to see the evidence, no, of, and to have the result of their study. Okay, and the applied anthropology. But in this subject, we are just giving you an overview of what anthropology is as a part of social sciences. All right, so we will not be digging deeper on those types of branches of anthropology. All right, so let's move on to the second discipline of social science, and that is economics. All right, so why is it? What do you think is the reason why is economics included as a social science discipline? Because when we talk about social science, it pertains to human within the society, and that human needs something, and that human is um is that human consume. All right, so this economics, this is a social science that deals with the optimum allocation of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. So what do you think are the basic needs of people? And why do you think there is scarcity? And that is why economics is there, because there is scarcity. May kakulangan. Alright? Bakit may kakulangan? Because the human wants are unlimited. The human needs are unlimited. But then the resources that we have is scarce, limited. That is why economic is there to do the allocation of those resources. Okay, so let's move on to geography. So geography is also a part of social science, all right? A part of the, because we study human in the society, and that human is living in a physical earth. That is why we need to study geography. So that is a study of the earth, the distribution of its land, its features, and it includes also, geo means earth, and then the graph means to write or to draw. That is literally, it means earth description. And then we study the earth's surface, investigation of the physical structure of the earth, and geography has this subfield also, no, the physical geography, which describes and studies the surface of the earth, no, the ocean, the continents, the mountains, the rivers. Why is this being studied? Because people is living here, no, on Earth, Earth's surface. That is why we study geography. The other subfield of geography is human geography. This describes and studies what human being do in and on land and water. And we also have political geography. This uses the maps that locate the boundaries of countries, states, and other countries' lines that have been decided by people. That is why during our discussion, I have emphasized here territorial conflict. That is included, no, in the political geography. No, as you can remember in our discussion that I have discussed to you, the why is it that there is a conflict between China and the Philippines? Okay, that pertains to political geography, right? Because China is always, they are bound, no, to really prove the nine dash line map, and they are not following the UNCLOS, no, the 200 nautical miles distant, no, as the exclusive economic zone. So that is, I have discussed that because that is part of geography, and that is also a branch of social science. Okay, so why do we need to study? Why is it that history is a part of the nine science disciplines? As you can see in the picture, history. History is a study of the past. Now, why do we need to study the past? We want to describe and analyze human activities in the past. And we will also examine and analyze the changes that this had undergone. So when you want to major in history now, your future job could be, you can be a historian. No, you will gather historical data from various sources. You will look on the archives, the books, the past books, and the artifacts, and you will trace the historical development. Okay, we go to the fifth of the nine social science discipline, and that is linguistics. Now, why do we need to study linguistics? Because again, we study human, and that human is living within the society. Therefore, that human is communicating with other people. That is why we need to know what linguistic is. Okay, so linguistic is a study of human language and its structure. So again, we will not go deeper on this. I am just introducing this to you so you will know that linguistic is part of your study as you major here in humanities. Okay, so there are some subfield of linguistic. We have the syntax. This is a study of structure of sentences. Okay, so the placement of words in a specific order. So you have this in your English subjects, no? For example, when I say Tom broke the bat. So that is, Tom is the subject, broke is the verb, and bat is the object. So the structure of the sentence then is subject, verb, object. Okay, so that is syntax. And then we also have semantics, or the study of meaning. Okay, so you will also know this one. So, for example, here, the two words destination and stop, last stop. Okay, technically, the two words means the same, but students of semantics will analyze the deep meaning of each word. So that is why there is semantics, the study of meaning. Now, as you know that the although the word is the same, but it has different meaning on the different contexts. Okay, so you also have here morphology, the study of structure of words, phonetics, study of speech sound, the phonology, the study of abstract sound of a particular language. So again, we'll not dig deeper on this. I am just introducing this because this is part of the 9 social science discipline. Okay, the sixth social science discipline is the political science. So when you are interested in a political science and then you want to study this, there is a Bachelor of Science in Political Science in college. If you want this, so this deals more with the theory and practices of politics, the analysis of political systems and the political behavior. So originally, when we talk about political science, this politics, this comes from the word polis, or the city states. So again, we go back, we study human, and then that human is living within the society. And what do you think will happen when nobody will rule over them? So that is why there is political science, because we need somebody. We need that structure to man, to rule over those people existing within a society. So if you want this field, if you want to major this, you can be a political analyst, you can be the public relations manager, you can also be a professor, a teacher. All right, so that is political science. And then we have the psychology. This is a study of human behavior and mental processes. So again, we will study human, and then we will know what makes him mad, what makes him sad. So we will know that one, human behavior, bakit ang kulit ng taong ito? Okay, so we will know that one. There is a course on that. Bachelor of Science in Psychology. So if you want to pursue psychology, then you could become a human resource officer. You can also be a school psychologist. You can also be a teacher or a professor. All right, so everything that studies human behavior and its mental processes, it talks about psychology. Okay, so we're bound to the second to the last, and that is sociology. Okay, so as you can see in the picture, there are plenty of people there, and then sociology is the systematic study of this society, the individual relationship to their societies, and other aspect of human social behavior. Okay, so when you want to study those society, you will have this. We There is a course, that's Bachelor of Arts major in sociology. Okay, so you will study social behavior, you will examine groups, the culture, the social institution, and the processes that developed when people interact and work together. So when you want to study that one, when you are interested in that, so you better have to take this course to major in sociology. So, what will be your prospect job when you want to study sociology? So, you could be a researcher. You can also work in the social institution like the SWD, and you will study culture and everything that talks about society. That is sociology. Okay, we are in the last demography. This is the last branch of social sciences, the demography. Now, why is it that we need to study demography? As you can see in the picture, there is the study of birth, how many are born in that particular date, particular time, how many are dying, how many are senior citizens, how many are teenagers, how many are migrating from the country to the other country. Now, there is a record on that. So, demography now is the study of the population, how these people move, um, how these people go to the other country, how these people, how their age, how they age, no? The population changes, the trends of resources, such as the statistics of birth, death, and disease. Okay, so if you want to study the trends within the population, you can also major this one, and you can work on the Philippine Statistics Authority, and you could develop the registration system, whatever that talks about the study of population. All right, so I hope that this is all about the social science, the difference between social science and the natural sciences, and then what are those nine disciplines that talks about social sciences. So this is part of your study as humanities students. Okay, so that would be all, and I hope that you learned from this discussion. Thank you very much.